3 days. That was all it took for Kang Hyun to realize he had made the biggest mistake of his life. The mansion was silent. Not the comfortable silence of a well-kept home, but the hollow silence of something broken beyond repair. The grand dining table was empty. The bedroom that once held the warmth of another body was cold. The walls that had echoed with laughter now echoed with nothing. Hyun stood in the middle of it all, a glass of whiskey in his hand, watching the city lights blur through the floor-to-ceiling windows. His empire was intact. His reputation was untarnished. His men still feared him. But he felt like a ghost in his own house. He had sent her away. Ariana. His wife. The only woman who had ever looked at him like he was more than a monster. He had listened to the whispers of his advisors, the jealous remarks of his new mistress, the foolish pride that told him he could do better. He had believed them. Now, 3 days later, he could not remember the face of the woman he had chosen over Ariana. He could not remember her name. He could only remember the look in Ariana's eyes as she was led away. Not anger, not tears, just a quiet, devastating disappointment. She had not fought him. She had not begged. She had simply picked up her small suitcase and walked out of the mansion like she had never belonged there. And Hyun had let her go. He took a long drink of whiskey. It burned, but not enough. Nothing was enough to burn away the emptiness. He had everything a man could want. Power. Money. Fear. But he had thrown away the only thing that mattered. And he had no idea how to get it back. Hyun had built the Kangran mansion with his own hands, not literally, but with the blood and sweat of a man who had clawed his way from nothing. He had grown up in a single room with 6 siblings, sleeping on a mat on the floor, listening to his mother cry at night. He had sworn he would never be poor again. He had kept that promise. By 35, he controlled the underworld of 3 cities. By 40, he was the most feared man in the country. The mansion was his trophy. 15 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a private cinema, a wine cellar that stretched underground like a cave. It was too big for one man. He had known that even as he built it. But he had not cared. Then Ariana came. She was not like the women who usually surrounded him. They were loud, demanding, hungry for his power. Ariana was quiet. She had been a translator at a business meeting he had attended. He had noticed her because she was the only person in the room who did not try to impress him. She simply did her job and left. He had pursued her. Not with threats, that would have been easy, but with persistence. He showed up at her apartment. He sent flowers. He waited outside her office. She had resisted for weeks, months even. When she finally said yes, he had felt something he had not felt in years. Hope. Their marriage was not perfect. He was still a criminal. He still came home late. He still had enemies who wanted him dead. But she never complained. She never asked for more than he could give. And now she was gone. Hyun walked through the mansion, room by room. The living room where she had curled up with books. The kitchen where she had attempted to cook Korean food for the first time, burning everything and laughing at herself. The garden where she had planted flowers that he had never bothered to notice. He found her wedding ring on the nightstand. She had left it behind. He picked it up, feeling the weight of it in his palm. It was simple, a thin gold band with a small diamond. He had bought it because she insisted on something modest. He slipped it into his pocket. It felt heavier than it should. His phone rang. He ignored it. He had been ignoring calls for 3 days. His men, his business partners, his mistress, none of them mattered. The only person who mattered was gone. It was late, past midnight, when Hyun found himself in her room. He had not stepped foot in it since she left. The door had been closed, and he had told himself it was easier to pretend it did not exist. But tonight, he could not stay away. He opened the door slowly, as if she might still be inside. The room was exactly as she had left it. The bed was made. The closet was empty, she had taken only what she could carry. The dresser was bare. He sat on the edge of the bed, feeling the emptiness press in on him. He ran his hand over the blankets, imagining her warmth. Then he noticed the drawer. It was slightly ajar, as if she had opened it in haste and forgotten to close it completely. He had never seen her open that drawer. He had never wondered what was inside. He pulled it open. Inside was a small wooden box. He lifted it out, his hands trembling slightly. The box was not locked. He opened the lid. Inside, he found a child's bracelet. It was silver, delicate, with a small charm in the shape of a star. A tiny inscription on the charm read, "For our daughter." Beneath the bracelet was a folded note. He unfolded it with shaking hands. The handwriting was Ariana's. Hyun-jun. If you are reading this, then I am gone. I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you so many times. But I was afraid. Afraid that you would not want her. Afraid that she would be used as a weapon against you. Afraid that you would see her as a weakness, not a gift. Her name is Hannah. She is 3 years old. She has your eyes, your stubbornness, your ability to make me smile even when I want to cry. I know you did not love me the way I loved you. I have always known. But I thought that maybe, in time, you would learn to love her. I was wrong to leave without telling you. But I could not stay. Not when you looked at me like I was something you regretted. I do not hate you. I do not think I could ever hate you. But I need to protect her. From your world. From your enemies. From the life that would make her feel like a mistake. Goodbye, Hyun-jun. I hope you find what you are looking for. Ariana. Hyun-jun read the note 3 times. His hands were shaking. His heart was pounding. A daughter. He had a daughter. He had a daughter, and he had never known. He had thrown her mother away, and with her, he had thrown away his child. He closed his eyes, and for the first time in years, tears fell down his face. Hyun-jun did not sleep that night. He sat in his study, the note and bracelet on the desk before him, staring at them as if they might reveal some answer. At dawn, he made a call. Find her, he said to his head investigator, a man named Mr. Park. Find Ariana. And find the child. I do not care what it costs. I do not care who you have to threaten. Bring them back to me. Mr. Park hesitated. Sir, she left without a trace. No bank transactions. No phone activity. She is good at disappearing. Then be better. You have 3 days. Mr. Park bowed and left. Hyun-jun sat in his study, the phone in his hand, and thought about his daughter. Hannah. 3 years old. His eyes, Ariana's smile. He had never changed a diaper. He had never read a bedtime story. He had never held his child in his arms. But he was going to. He was going to find her. He was going to make this right. He did not know if Ariana would ever forgive him. He did not know if he deserved to be forgiven. But he knew that he would spend the rest of his life trying. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. She does not want to be found. Leave her alone. Hyun-jun stared at the message. His jaw tightened. He typed back, "Who is this?" No response. Someone was watching. Someone knew where Ariana was. Someone was warning him to stay away. He did not care. He was Kang Hyun-jun. He did not back down from threats. He made them. He ordered his men to trace the number. It was a burner. Untraceable. This was not going to be easy. But he had never expected it to be. 1,000 miles away, in a small apartment in Busan, Ariana folded laundry on a worn couch. The apartment was modest. 2 bedrooms, a tiny kitchen, a balcony that barely fit a chair. But it was clean. It was warm. It was theirs. Hannah played on the floor with a set of plastic blocks. She was small for her age, with dark hair and bright eyes, Hyunjun's eyes. Ariana watched her daughter, her heart aching with a love so fierce it sometimes scared her. She had not told Hyunjun about Hannah. She had wanted to. She had come close so many times. But every time she tried, fear held her back. She had seen what Hyunjun's world did to people. She had seen the enemies who wanted to destroy him, the rivals who would use anything, anyone, as a weapon. If they knew about Hannah, she would never be safe. So Ariana had made a choice. She would protect her daughter on her own. She worked as a translator, taking freelance jobs online. It was not enough. It was barely enough. But it gave her the freedom to stay home with Hannah, to raise her the way she wanted. She thought about Hyunjun sometimes. More than sometimes. She wondered if he was happy with his new woman. She wondered if he ever thought about her. She wondered if he ever wondered about the child he did not know existed. She told herself it did not matter. She had made her decision. She had left. She had started over. But late at night, when Hannah was asleep and the apartment was silent, she allowed herself to miss him. Not the powerful man, not the crime boss. Just him. The man who had held her hand when she was scared. The man who had made her feel, for a little while, like she was worth something. Hannah looked up at her. "Mama, why are you crying?" Ariana wiped her eyes quickly. "I am not crying, baby. I am just tired. Can I have a hug?" Ariana opened her arms. Hannah climbed into her lap, her small body warm against her mother's chest. "I love you, Mama," Hannah said. Ariana kissed the top of her head. "I love you too, sweetheart. More than anything." She held her daughter tightly and made a silent promise. No one would hurt Hannah. No one would take her away. Not Hyunjun. Not his enemies. Not anyone. She was going to protect her daughter. No matter what it cost. Mr. Park was good at his job. He had been Hyunjun's investigator for 15 years. He had found missing people, hidden documents, buried secrets. He had never failed. But Ariana was different. She had left no trail. No credit card transactions. No phone pings. No social media activity. She had disappeared like smoke. Mr. Park's men searched every record they could access. They checked airports, train stations, bus terminals. They bribed officials, threatened informants, called in favors. Nothing. Hyunjun grew more impatient with each passing day. He called Mr. Park every hour. "You are not trying hard enough. Sir, she is very good at staying hidden. She must have help. Then find out who is helping her." Mr. Park hesitated. "There is something else, sir." "What?" "Someone else is also looking for her." Hyunjun's blood went cold. "Who?" "I do not know. But they are not our people. And they are very careful." The mysterious messages. The burner phone. Someone was tracking Ariana, and they were not friendly. "Find her before they do," Hyunjun ordered. "I do not care what it costs." Mr. Park nodded and left. Hyunjun sat alone in his study, the bracelet in his hand. He had a daughter. A daughter who might be in danger. A daughter he had never held. He would burn the world to keep her safe. He would tear down anyone who threatened her. But first, he had to find her. Ariana had built a small community around herself in Busan. Her neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Jung, watched Hannah when Ariana had to work. The owner of the convenience store, Mr. Lee, let her buy food on credit when money was tight. They did not know her full story. They did not need to. They accepted her without asking questions. One evening, Mrs. Jung knocked on her door. Her face was troubled. "Ariana, some men came to my house today. They were asking about you. I did not tell them anything. Ariana's heart stopped. What did they look like? Korean. Suits. They asked if a foreign woman had moved into the building. I said no. Thank you, Mrs. Jung. You did the right thing. Mrs. Jung squeezed her hand. Are you in trouble, dear? No. But I might need to leave soon. We will miss you. Ariana went back inside, her hands shaking. She packed a small bag for herself and Hannah. The clothes, the food, the documents they would need. Hyun-jun had found her. Or someone had. She could not stay. She had to run again. Hannah woke up, rubbing her eyes. Mama, where are we going? On an adventure, baby. A new place. I like it here. Ariana knelt beside her daughter. I know, sweetheart. But we have to go. It will be okay. I promise. Hannah hugged her. I trust you, Mama. Ariana held her tight, a lump in her throat. She would do whatever it took to keep Hannah safe. Even if it meant running for the rest of her life. Mr. Park finally found a lead. A witness in Busan had seen a woman matching Ariana's description with a young child. The witness had pointed them to a building in a quiet neighborhood. Mr. Park dispatched his men. They arrived at the building, but the apartment was empty. The beds were stripped. The fridge was clean. She had left hours ago. Sir, she is gone. But we found this. Mr. Park sent a photo to Hyun-jun. It was a note, left on the kitchen counter. Stop looking for us. We do not want to be found. Hyun-jun stared at the note. The handwriting was Ariana's. Sharp, precise, final. He slammed his fist on the desk. She was close. So close. But she had slipped away again. And someone else was still tracking her. Mr. Park's men had found signs of another search, footprints that did not match theirs, questions asked by strangers. Whoever they were not far behind. Hyun-jun called Mr. Park. I want a team on the ground in Busan. Every airport. Every bus station. Every road out of the city. She cannot disappear again. Mr. Park hesitated. Sir, if we make too much noise, the police will notice. Let them notice. I do not care. Hyun-jun's phone buzzed again. The same unknown number. You are already too late. His blood ran cold. He called the number. It was disconnected. Who is this? He typed. No response. He looked at his phone, then at the note from Ariana. Someone was playing games with him. Someone wanted to hurt him, and they were using Ariana to do it. He sent another message. If you touch her, I will find you. I will destroy you. No response. He sat in the dark, his mind racing. He had made mistakes. He had hurt Ariana. He had driven her away. But he was not going to let anyone hurt her now. Not while he was still breathing. Mr. Park's men traced the burner phone to a location in Busan. An old warehouse near the port. Hyun-jun went himself. The warehouse was empty, but someone had been there recently. Cigarette butts, a half-empty bottle of water, footprints in the dust. And on the wall, written in red spray paint, "She is ours now." Hyun-jun stared at the words. His fists clenched. Rage burned through him like fire. Find them, he said to his men. Find them, and bring them to me. Alive. He did not wait for a response. He walked out of the warehouse, his mind already planning. He would find Ariana. He would find Hannah. And he would destroy anyone who stood in his way. Ariana had made it to a small town south of Busan. A friend from university had offered her a place to stay. A tiny house on the edge of a fishing village. It was safe. It was quiet. Hannah loved the beach. But Ariana could not stop looking over her shoulder. Every knock on the door made her jump. Every unknown car on the street made her heart race. The men who had come to Mrs. Jung's house, were they Hyun-jun's? Or someone else? She did not know. And that was the worst part. One night, she received a message on her phone. An unknown number. We know where you are. We are coming for you and the child. She deleted the message. She packed another bag. But she was tired. So tired of running. So tired of hiding. She looked at Hannah, sleeping peacefully in her arms, and made a decision. She could not do this alone anymore. She had to call Hyun-jun. Hyun-jun's phone rang at 2 a.m. A number he did not recognize. He answered, his voice rough. Who is this? Hyun-jun. Ariana's voice. Small, trembling. He sat up straight. Ariana. Where are you? Please. I need help. Someone is following us. I do not know who they are, but they know about Hannah. Hannah. Our daughter. There was a pause. You know. Yes. I found the bracelet. The note. I know everything. Hyun-jun, I am scared. I have been running for so long. I cannot run anymore. Tell me where you are. I will come to you. I will protect you. She was silent for a long moment. Then she gave him the address of the fishing village. He wrote it down, his hand shaking. Stay inside. Lock the doors. I am coming. Hyun-jun. Yes. I am sorry. For not telling you. I am the one who is sorry. I will make this right. I promise. He ended the call and threw on his coat. He did not wait for his men. He drove himself. The drive was 3 hours. He made it in 2. He broke every speed limit. He ran red lights. He did not care. His phone buzzed again. The unknown number. You are coming to her. How predictable. We are already here. Hyun-jun's foot pressed harder on the accelerator. He called Ariana. No answer. He called again. No answer. His blood roared in his ears. He was going to lose them. He was going to lose everything. He reached the fishing village. He saw the tiny house, the light on in the window. He also saw a black van parked outside. He did not wait. He crashed his car into the van, pushing it off the road. Then he ran to the house. The door was unlocked. He burst inside. Ariana stood in the living room, Hannah in her arms. Her face was pale, her eyes wide. Outside, the men from the van were getting out. They were armed. Hyun-jun grabbed Ariana and pushed her toward the back door. Run. Take Hannah and run. Hyun-jun. Run. She ran. Hyun-jun turned to face the men. There were 5 of them. They were his rivals, a rival gang that wanted to use Ariana and Hannah as leverage against him. He did not think. He attacked. The fight was brutal. Hyun-jun was outnumbered, but he was also desperate. He fought like a man with nothing to lose. He took out 3 of them. The 4th stabbed him in the side. He fell to his knees, blood soaking through his shirt. The 5th man aimed a gun at his head. Any last words? The man sneered. Hyun-jun did not answer. He was looking past the man. At the doorway behind him, Ariana was there. She had not run. She had come back. And she had a gun. She fired. The man crumpled. Ariana ran to Hyun-jun, her hands pressing against his wound. You idiot! Why did you do that? I had to protect you. I could have handled it. I know. He smiled weakly. But I wanted to be the one who saved you. The hospital was private, one of Hyun-jun's connections. He was in surgery for hours. Ariana waited in the hallway, Hannah asleep in her arms. She had not wanted to leave his side. But they would not let her in the operating room. She thought about everything that had happened. The years of silence. The secrets. The running. But she also thought about the way he had crashed his car into the van. The way he had fought 5 men alone. The way he had looked at her like she was the only thing that mattered. When the doctors came out, they said he would live. The wound was serious, but he was strong. Ariana went into his room. He was pale, hooked to machines, but his eyes were open. He smiled when he saw her. You came back. Of course I came back. He reached for her hand. I know I do not deserve you. I know I made mistakes. I threw you away for nothing. But I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you. To Hannah. Ariana squeezed his hand. You already have. Really? Really? Months passed. Hyun recovered. He stepped back from his empire, not completely, but enough to be present. He wanted to be a father. He wanted to be a husband. Ariana and Hannah moved back into the mansion. Not the cold, empty mansion of before. This time, it was filled with laughter. With toys on the floor. With a garden that Ariana planted, and Hannah watered. Hyun read bedtime stories. He learned to make pancakes. He attended parent-teacher meetings. He was not perfect. He still had enemies. He still made mistakes. But he was trying. One evening, he sat on the floor with Hannah, building a tower of blocks. Ariana watched from the couch, a smile on her face. Hannah looked up at him. Appa, will you stay with us forever? He felt his heart crack open. Yes, Hannah. I will stay with you forever. I will never leave you again. Promise. I promise. He pulled her into a hug. Ariana joined them, wrapping her arms around both of them. He thought about the night he had let her go. The emptiness that had followed. The discovery that had changed everything. He had been given a second chance. He would not waste it.